Hey, it's Mark from dynamitestocks.com and stockpursuit.com. I've got another video for you on the watch list and the stocks that are moving and some of what happened today. So today was another crazy day. There's just lots of bullish stuff out there. And I'm finding even more and more triangles and more of these setups that I know that work in bull markets. So I've got a lot of long watches now, like a lot of stocks on my watch list. So let's just go over the ones that I've been trading and that I've been talking about in the past. So one of my favorites is the RGTI, the quantum computing company, and this one just keeps going. It's there's a lot of breakthroughs going on in technology right now, and even that possible room temperature semiconductor that I'll talk about a little later. But this one has the momentum still, and I think it still has a really good chance of going a lot higher. I think it's in a growth market. There's a huge demand for computers, for computer power, and you see like these companies just can't get enough cloud infrastructure, and there's just a huge demand for these computing systems and any kind of platform that'll run AI or run some of the modern technology that we're seeing now. So if it can run an LLM or AI, and that's a good thing. Since they're working on this stuff now, I think, it's going to be more and more prevalent. And as far as I know, they don't sell quantum computers. They have availability with their cloud. So, but we'll see. I guess they give the power to the companies. But so I was looking for some other sort of plays on the periphery of that. So that led me to, I just happened to see this one, QUBT, and they're kind of more in the equipment and as far as I know, they actually supply the RGTI with their supplies. So this one, it looks like it based out. It's got a base. It really needs to break over 177, 180 to be a confirmed bottom. But this one, these alternate technology, these alternate energy sources are big right now. Like you can see the buzz on Twitter. Everybody's talking about the superconductor, and it's kind of like it was with AI. And we'll see how long it stays around. If it's going to be another passing failed superconductor attempt. Just from my understanding, there have been a lot of these there's been a lot of hope, and then it just kind of dissipates over time. But so this QUBT is another one that's in the same kind of space. Another one I found is ARQQ, Arcit Quantum. They're another quantum computing company, and I haven't done any in-depth research on this one yet. But this one's got some good technicals going for it. Has a lot of volume, likely just another industry play. A brother to the other quantum stocks. So you don't necessarily have to believe in or understand the long-term future. I just know that these are where this is where the money's going in these down days in the market. So that's a good thing. And that brings us to the American superconductor, which was the best performing one today. And this one, I found this one back a few days ago, 3 or 4 days ago, and I put it on my Twitter or my videos, one of my videos, but I've been putting the ticker symbols in my videos too, in case you don't watch the whole video, so you can see the tickers. So that one unfortunately I never I didn't buy the calls on that one. I was just expecting a pullback, but of course it never came. That's the kind of market we're in now. You know, you can't expect a pullback necessarily. It's kind of futile play. But I've got lots of other stuff, so I'm not worried about it. But yeah, so AMD had a good quarter. I mean, stock reacted well off of it. So we're getting close to the upper channel there on the semiconductor index. I think maybe we'll get one more day before it tests it. So we can't expect it to just keep blasting off. But I mean, it very well could. But we've got to see how it reacts to that level. And PLTR had a pullback today. I kind of expected that because you can see this yesterday or the other day it had a gap up. It gapped up, and then it kind of reminded me of it did the same thing back in May. It gapped up significantly and then just consolidated roughly for a couple days. So I think it'll probably well, it's hard to tell here, but I mean, I'm pretty bullish on AI and defense spending. So this one, I wouldn't be surprised to see it just keep blasting off like a lot of stuff. Like, I mean, you can see it hardly ever pulled back significantly. So if it does pull back, it's probably goodbye. So, but I'm not playing that one now. But my other favorites, NRDY, is still hanging in there. And Yalla, this one I'm kind of more, I like the long term on this one. So I'm not really worried about it if it comes down to trend support, which would be in the mid 4s. But that's another one. That's one of my favorites. I found some other interesting setups. The mobile payments, or the payment companies like PayPal is one of the biggest holdings in this ETF. It's threatening a breakout here off of basically a bull flag. Just kind of like consolidation. And if I'm correct, PayPal reports earnings tomorrow. So this one really wants to break out. So I think this one's a good buy on a break over 45, 65. So if we hit 45, 66, 67, it's a good one. And that's for like a swing trade, of course. Like I like swing trading now because like the market's really strong. You know, you can expect things to keep going. So it's a lot easier to trade, of course. Like, you know, anything can happen intraday, and it's definitely pretty simple to just swing trade now. And what else we got on that watch list? I think that's about it on that one. Yeah, with that one, let's look at the Nasdaq. Yeah, that one. The Nasdaq has trend support, and it'll probably test tomorrow if it comes down. I expect it would come down again ever so slightly, but it's got a big trend support to test here. So tomorrow's really important. We'll see how it's got to act right. If it doesn't act right here, you know, it could be a pullback in the market. And you can see it's not much different than this last pullback. It just kind of slowly grinds sideways as it consolidates. Like today, you know, even though the market was down, it came back. You know, it's definitely it's definitely indicative of a consolidation and not necessarily a long-term sell-off. So, but we'll have to watch what happens tomorrow. I mean, potentially there could be fireworks to the downside if it doesn't hold. It needs to hold this trend support line, so it's got to hold that. So roughly, probably be if it goes a lot below 380, 379, then if it doesn't hold 379, then 378. Well, it'll be easier to tell tomorrow, but it's just got to hold that line. Another one I found was CPTN. This one's another small company, and it's a $122 million company, and they make the sensors for these computers that are used in autonomous driving. So it's got uses in the EV market and the autonomous cars. I mean, potentially, I think it could even be, I mean, in robots too. I don't see why a robot wouldn't, or any kind of like a security robot could use this technology too. But it looks like on their website, I took a brief look at the website. It looks like they're mostly selling for auto companies, but I'm not sure. Like, I don't see why a robot couldn't use that too. I mean, I'm sure there's robots that use the same kind of technology, but it uses like lasers to see the environment, without having human eyes, of course. But I'm not an expert on autonomous driving, but I was just looking at their fundamentals. They're really strong. Like looks like revenue growth is supposed to grow about 300% next year, and I mean, this is definitely, it could be even a buyout candidate. Like a car company would just buy it, and it makes sense over the long term if they use the products. Like Tesla likes to have its own. I'm sure Tesla has its own tech, but as far as I know, but maybe another company would buy this company, like somebody that's doesn't have the R&D of Tesla. So this one's a really cool one. I mean, and the setup is great too. It's another one of those perfect triangles, an ascending triangle, which is a very bullish setup. And it just took out some resistance, and it's got that nice bottoming formation where it makes the bottoms out, comes up, makes a higher low, consolidates, holds levels. It's definitely got a bottom. So that's a bottomed out chart, and technically it's a confirmed bottom because it just broke above the last resistance on the downtrend. So this one's a really good one. I mean, this is totally off the radar too. Like, I've never even heard of it. I've just been using my stock fetcher scans, finding a bunch of stuff. So this one, this is a good one. And that revenue growth looks really good. It looks like they're not profitable, but the net loss is shrinking. So looks like it's got 4 analysts on it, so it's not that off the radar, but it's definitely a tiny one. So that's always good. I mean, I like you want to get the stuff before everyone else gets it. So that's another favorite. Another one, the ARQQ, you talked about that one, quantum computing. And I've been watching this solar stock run, and like I said, I know this one from the past. It was by far the leading solar stock in the last solar stock run, like 7 years ago, or years ago, and it just broke out of this channel I was watching. So it needs to get some volume and a good spike like it had down here. Like it needs some day range, some percentage move. But this one's it's a technical bottom if it comes back up to 22. So this one's good. Like I think, and you've seen oil go up, and they're correlated. So so that's a good one to watch. QSI. This one's not actually. It's not a quantum company or a quantum computing company. It's like a biomed or a pharma, and it's got an inside bar. It's got a textbook inside bar, which these like to go up. I mean, they like to be to go higher. It could be like a squeeze. So I wouldn't be surprised if this one, if it breaks out tomorrow, it's a long. If it breaks over 390. If it doesn't break over 390, it's not a long. But that's a setup there. It's an interesting one. What else we got here? ACCO Brands, ACCO. I know this one because a long time ago, back in the early 2000s, I bought a company. I bought the stock of Fortune Brands, and it's kind of like a powerhouse holding company. They had like they had the Jim Beam whiskey. They're a huge spirits company, and they had Therma-Tru doors with the housing market, and they had Master Lock, like a lot of great brands. I mean, there's just a bunch of brands, and they sold the spirits, and well, the company got broken up, but the ACCO Brands was a spin-off, and they spun off the shares. I don't know, maybe like 15 years ago or so, and it's like office supplies, so it's formed a base. It found support here from October back in May, and took out some resistance and held, and it's got a good uptrending chart, and I wouldn't be surprised if it hits 660. It's not my favorite setup because it would have been a better setup on this resistance breakout, but it's still one to watch. That should benefit from business spending. So we got, what else we got? CLOV. This one, I bought some calls on this one. It just looks like it wants to bottom out, and it's got the momentum off of a bull flag. KSCP. This one's another robotics one that's really small company, and I looked into this one. I looked into the fundamentals, were pretty good, and I think this one, this is another good one if it gets some good technicals going. Like if it breaks, it just needs to stop consolidating and get a to break above that flag. Yeah, the boar just keeps going too. Boar, I'm long calls on this one. This one's still going. It's an oil play, obviously. Just keeps breaking out. Like in bull markets, you want to trade breakouts and bull flags and triangles. Well, triangles are a breakout play, but it's pretty simple. Like If there's no momentum, it's not tradable. Kaba, this one hanging in there. Let's go to the short bias stocks now. Yell, it's a supernova. Looks like I lost some functionality on this. Oh, there it is. This one's total supernova. I wouldn't be surprised if it opens up tomorrow at like 320, open lower. But I mean, it's got the momentum, so we'll see. But it needs to show some weakness, and then that's a short. But the way these have been going, though, I wouldn't be surprised if it goes another day. But that's one to watch for a short. TP. Eventually, this one will stop, but these squeezes can go on forever. So it's one to watch for another red day. It's got to be red first. See, there's that inside bar it did there. It did what I was talking about with the other stock. It just goes red and then stays around the midpoint of the previous day range, and then just blasts off. So that's another short bias one. TSVT, that one I found back a few days ago. It's still going down. I don't think I have puts on it now, but this one, yeah, the technicals are just really awful, and the stocks like this, and when the market's been green so much, it's a good indicator too. But that's another short watch. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it just keeps going down like day after day. URGN, yeah, it did pull back as I was expecting. It had that first red day and then broke down. So yeah, well, that's a good one. That's still a good short on weakness. The LUMN, I was wrong on this one. I didn't know they had earnings today, so the earnings were good. So it's actually it's holding up support really well. So it's not really that great of a long, in my opinion, because there's better longs out there. But I wouldn't be surprised if this goes another couple days too. What else we got? Yeah, I shorted the regional banks. Well, with puts, I went long puts, and I noticed they were struggling there, and a lot of the stocks I've got now are small cap stocks. So it's kind of like a hedge on my small caps too, because the IWM and the Russell 2000s comprise a lot of banks. So if you just watch KRE and IWM, they pretty much trade in lockstep, even during the intraday. So KRE is going to pretty much do what IWM does for the most part. So if KRE is breaking down, it's a good chance that IWM will too. So this is sort of a hedge I got. But it's a good trade too. Like the targets at this support line here, which is 45 roughly, 44.50, 45. So that's my target on that. And yeah, so the IPAY, we gotta watch that one tomorrow. I think there's a good chance that one goes. And like if you look at some other components of it, it's got MasterCard and Visa. The MasterCard chart the MasterCard chart's not very good, but this Visa chart is pretty good here because Visa has this bull flag right here. And the technicals are good, I mean, it just keeps uptrending. Like we'll call that's the trend line where it touched price the most consistently. It get bounced off there, and that it just happens to touch a lot of them there too. So that one's bullish. So let's look at PayPal, because I actually didn't look at that one yet. Yeah, the Visa chart looked pretty good. Let's see that. Yeah, it's definitely, it could break out again if it comes off of this bull flag. But they just had earnings, so looks like the reactions in the past off earnings have been sort of mute point. So still got a good chance. PayPal. Let's look at PayPal. Yeah, that's one's sure has been a bad one. Oh man, yeah, that's not a good one. But it did just break this downtrend. It's in this really long downtrend for months. I'm just trying to make sure I catch the right levels there. See, there was an overshoot over there, so back up there in February. So no matter how you draw it, it looks like it did break this downtrend, so it came up off of it, which is good, and it's got new trend support right here. So that's new trend support, and it's threatening to bottom. It's not a bottom unless it takes out the previous resistance. So it needs to take out roughly 78, let's say. If it hits 78, that's a bottom. But it does have some trend support. It's got trend support there. So we're gonna watch that one. It's still even not my favorite play, the IPAY, this ETF. It's not my favorite, but it's just another good setup. What else we got? I think I found a couple more. Oh yeah, maps. It's another small company. It's just taking out a lot of resistance. Technical bottom. It's a technical bottom on that break there. This one, let's see what this one was. $204 million company. Technology, software. Provides e-commerce and compliance software solutions to retailers and brands in cannabis market in the United States and internationally. Offers a marketplace that allows cannabis users to search for and browse cannabis products from retailers and brands, and reserve products from local retailers. So it doesn't sound like a moat, but it's founded in 2008, so they've been around a while. Actually, I do remember this one from a long time ago. Yeah, back in 2020 and 2021, went on a huge run, or a big run. But it's just another one of those bullish charts. So that's a good watch too. Let's see what else we got. I think that might have been about it, but let's go through my other watch list here. Let's see. Oh yeah, APRN. APRN. This one, it's always had a high short interest. It's a heavily shorted stock. So the way it's been going, any stock that has high short interest just keeps going, squeezing. So This one, this one's a watch for a breakout over 644 and a squeeze. So just making sure I got all the ones that I looked at. Yeah, I think that's about it. So I hope I provided some knowledge and some good picks there, or some good watches. You know, I think this market's going to continue for a while. I think the place to look is these smaller companies that haven't had as significant a run yet. You know, like I said in the last video, these large companies have already had significant runs, and statistically, this is the 10th largest or the 10th biggest performance in the stock market in the first half of the year, and going back to 1927, like the other ones were like the 30s and the 1995, which is 1995 was kind of like this year with AI, but so what I'm saying is that you can't expect the market to go another 40% here or 30%. It could happen, but the probabilities are lower based on history of performance. So I still think there is going to be some more upside in the near term, but I just think it's a lot easier to find these setups in stocks that are a lot lower and have a lot of growth, and there's the valuation is more compelling. Like in a bull market like this, you want to invest in the companies that have the growth. Like the growth is all that matters. It's like you see revenue be more important than say like what they're going to do next quarter, or what matters is the future growth. So if there's growth, then the stocks go up. So just remember that when you're looking at stocks, there are points where in history where every stock will benefit from a strong bull market. Like in the late 90s, Coca-Cola had a PE multiple of like 50 or 70. It was definitely over 50. It was like 80 or something. It was ridiculous. So every stock will benefit at one point, but you're safest just looking at the investing in growth. So there's a lot of growth. The multiples don't really matter. Like look at Nvidia. Like the growth is what matters. People are willing to pay for growth in a bull market. So that's my TED talk for a day. So I'll just wrap it up at that, and hope you have a great week.